Calcium plays an extremely important role in the production of plant tissues and enables plants to grow better. It is responsible for keeping the cell walls of plants together. It is also crucial in activating signals that coordinate certain cellular activities. Calcium also increases the resistance to external attacks and increases the feed value of forage crops to livestock.
There are many benefits to bilingualism and exposure to multiple languages. Children who learn multiple languages learn to be sensitive to their conversation partners. They make word and language choices based on their knowledge of others. These are sophisticated social decisions that show advanced social skills.
The defining question about global order for this generation is whether China and the United States can escape Thucydides' trap. The Greek historian's metaphor reminds us of the attendant dangers when a rising power rivals a ruling power, as Athens challenged Sparta in ancient Greece, or as Germany did Britain a century ago.
When a major disaster strikes, the first people on the scene are often local organizations, residents, and volunteers. They are often faced with the retrieval and immediate management of dead bodies before forensic experts can arrive.
It's projected that, over the next 100 years, temperatures on Earth could rise an average of nearly 5 degrees Celsius. While some animals might be able to migrate north to escape the brunt of the heat, plants can't uproot themselves quite so easily. Researchers wondered whether the creatures that disperse plant seeds might be able to help.
Artificial intelligence has been one of the most controversial domains of inquiry in computer science since it was first proposed in the 1950s. Defined as the part of computer science concerned with designing systems that exhibit the characteristics associated with human intelligence, understanding language, learning, reasoning, solving problems.
Whether you're climbing your way up the corporate ladder or overwhelmed with the organizational tasks of home and kids, a luxurious vacation to an exotic paradise may seem like an impossible dream. You can only fantasize about an outdoor massage among fragrant island flowers or a nap after enjoying a brunch ripe with fruits fresh from the vine.
Emerald is defined by its green color. To be an emerald, a specimen must have a distinctly green color that falls in the range from bluish-green to green to slightly yellowish-green. To be an emerald, the specimen must also have a rich color. Stones with weak saturation or light tone should be called green beryl. If it is greenish yellow, it is heliodor. This color definition is a source of confusion.
Permafrost is ground that is frozen year-round. In the Arctic, ice-rich permafrost soils can be up to 260 feet thick. Due to human-caused warming of the atmosphere from greenhouse gas emissions, a steady thawing of the permafrost is currently taking place where the upper layer of seasonally thawed soil is gradually getting thicker and reaching deeper into the ground. As the Delta variant of coronavirus sweeps the U.S., businesses, universities, and cities such as New York and San Francisco have introduced vaccine mandates to boost uptake of jabs, but vaccine hesitancy remains high, and a cottage industry for bogus inoculation cards has emerged to help people get around the rules.
Aptogeticus is a research tool in neuroscience that uses light to alter the activity of genetically engineered light-sensitive nerve cells to better understand the function and behavior of clusters of neurons in animals. Now, a team led by researchers from the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology has developed an implantable aptogetic light-emitting device that can be wirelessly recharged.
Many employers outside of the military cannot comprehend the myriad of acronyms soldiers may initially struggle to stop using in their daily work. Some veterans may also struggle to explain how their experience can be applied in a non-military environment. One potential solution comes in an unlikely form: virtual reality avert. Tests of a drug known to stimulate brain activity have shown early success in reducing symptoms of sluggish cognitive tempo in 38 men and women with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It also significantly corrected deficits in executive brain function, with fewer episodes of procrastination, improvements in keeping things in mind, and strengthened prioritization skills. There are many reasons why water tastes stale when it is kept for a long time. Microorganisms play a big role in this phenomenon. When they grow, they release chemicals into the water from their metabolic activity. This evaporates over time, so the absence of it from water left out for a long period brings about a change in taste. Australian scientists said they have developed pain-free blood sugar testing for diabetics, a non-invasive strip that checks glucose levels via saliva for diabetics. Managing their blood sugar levels typically means pricking their fingers multiple times a day with a lancet and then placing a drop of blood on a testing strip.
Just as the world's fifth largest economy emerges from the COVID-19 pandemic, the post-Brexit shortage of truck drivers and a spike in European natural gas prices has left the UK grappling with the grim prospect of a potential food supply crunch and soaring energy bills.
The interludes which break up the gameplay action, and which, because they can be made to a higher level of animation, often provide the most visually arresting sequences of a game. Combined with a taste for bizarrely complicated, recursive plots, and long sequences of wordy explicatory dialogue, this turns the games into a bit of a drag.
In a landmark report published on Monday, the international financial institution called on states to reduce global emissions and bridge the development gap to avoid the effects of slow-onset climate change such as water scarcity, decreasing crop productivity, and rising sea levels.
Pronunciation is the way in which a word or a language is spoken. This may refer to generally agreed upon sequences of sounds used in speaking a given word or language in a specific dialect. Correct pronunciation, or simply the way a particular individual speaks a word or language.
Soil is the top layer of the Earth's surface, mostly created from weathered rock. It is made up of varying amounts of minerals, humus, or decayed organic matter, and useful living creatures like worms. The finest rock particles within soil form sticky clay. The medium particles become silt, and the corests constitute sand. While there is sufficient moisture, soil supports vegetation, providing habitat for a variety of
Termites, the tiny creatures, have learned to create a comfortable home in some of the world's toughest climates. Outside, in the African savanna, the temperatures vary from 40 degrees in the day to 1 degree at night. Yet, inside the mound, the temperature stays constant.
It is very easy to acquire bad habits, such as eating too many sweets, or too much food, or drinking too much fluid of any kind, or smoking, etc. The more we do a thing, the more we tend to like doing it in later stage. If we do not continue to do it, we feel happy. This is called the force of habit, and the force of habit should be fought against.
A meteorite that fell on Earth more than a century ago may contain some of the first concrete evidence for a cosmic mashup in the early solar system. Following the birth of our Sun 4.5 billion years ago, it is thought that Jupiter's formation caused two reservoirs of asteroids to gather in the solar system, one inside the giant planet's orbit and one outside.
Smartphones have become an everyday essential for millions of us. We rely on them for everything from updating our social media profiles to banking. Taking out a smartphone contract that bundles together your calls, data, and texts with the cost of the handset can help spread the cost, but can also mean you'll pay more over the long run.
The Earth just had the hottest month in recorded history, and it's even worse than normal. The record comes in a run of unprecedentedly hot months. Not only does it break through the all-time record set a year before, it also continues a now 10-month-long streak of months that are the hottest ever according to NASA data. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration calculates temperatures slightly different. During the early modern period, the universities of Europe would see a tremendous amount of growth, productivity, and innovative research. At the end of the Middle Ages, about 400 years after the first European university was founded, there were 29 universities spread throughout Europe.
Since 2003, buying for education advanced faster, in percentage terms, than all other types of consumer debt that includes mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards, data from the Federal Reserve Bank, New York show. As of the fourth quarter, student loans represented 10.5% of a record of 13.1 trillion in household debt, up from 3.3% at the start, 2003.
The main production of soft drink was started in 1830s. Since then, from those experimental beginning, there was an evolution until in 1781 when the world's first cola-flavored beverage was introduced. These drinks were called soft drinks, only to separate them from hard alcoholic drinks. Today, soft drink is more favorite refreshment drink than tea, coffee, juice, etc.
Low Earth orbit is now more accessible for more people to experience the wonders of space, tweeted NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, who was a congressman when he hitched a ride on a space shuttle decades ago.
Newer sites usually are more accessible than older ones. Many facility owners and operators may not have the experience or knowledge to determine the level of accessibility on their sites. If they have never received any complaints, they may mistakenly assume that no problems exist. Inspect all areas of the site carefully to make an accurate assessment of its level of accessibility.